Today, I want to talk about something that seems to sneak up on us every single year: back to school shopping. And before you think my kids aren't in school anymore or this episode isn't for me, stay with me. Because the principles I'm sharing today apply to any seasonal expense that catches us off guard, whether it's school supplies, holidays, vacations, birthdays, or sports activities. It always seems to happen the same way. And one minute you're enjoying summer, and the next you're looking at a long list of school supplies, backpacks, shoes, clothes, lunch expenses, activities, fees, and wondering, how is all of this going to fit into our budget, right? If you've ever felt that knot in your stomach when you realize how quickly these expenses add up, you're not alone. And the good news is that it doesn't have to feel that way. So in today's episode, I'm going to walk you through a simple way to prepare for back-to-school expenses without the panic, without overspending, and without feeling like your finances are falling apart. Because here's what I've learned after helping so many working moms organize their money. Back-to-school budgeting isn't really about buying school supplies. It's about creating a simple financial plan before the spending begins. And when you have a plan, you stop reacting to your money and start leading it with confidence. So grab your notebook and let's dive in. If you're tired of debt calling your choices, bills running your day, and groceries eating your paycheck, and ready to finally live life on your terms, debt-free, guilt-free, and unstoppable, welcome to the Financial Planning Podcast. Hi, I'm Deanna, a mom of 4, creator of the 2-line budget, a believer in big dreams and God-given purpose. I help working moms break free from financial overwhelm, take control of their money, and build the clarity, confidence, and peace you need to make wise financial decisions. Here you'll discover simple and practical financial solutions designed to strengthen your home and build lasting financial stability, and maybe enjoy a weekend escape. Because when money becomes simple, your whole life opens up. And I'm here to show you how. Have you ever gone to the store thinking, I'm just going to grab a few school supplies, and then somehow walked out with a cart full of things? You picked up notebooks, then pencils, a few folders, and binders. Then you remembered your child needs new shoes. While you were there, you found a couple of shirts on sale. Next came the water bottle, the lunchbox, maybe a calculator, headphones, or a backpack, because last year's was falling apart, right? And before you know it, you're standing at the checkout watching the total climb higher and higher, and suddenly you're spending a few $100s. I've been there, and I know so many moms have too. But here's what I want you to hear today. The problem isn't back to school shopping. The problem is walking into the store without a plan. When you don't know exactly what you need, how much you can spend, or what your priorities are, it's easy to overspend, right? Not because you're irresponsible, but because you're making dozens of decisions in a moment. And a simple financial plan changes everything. It gives every dollar a purpose before you ever walk through those store doors. And that's when shopping starts feeling less stressful and a whole lot more intentional. So let's go through a few steps to simplify and strategize your back to school shopping. Step number 1, start with a financial brain sweep. Before you even think about creating a budget or heading to the store, I want you to do something that takes just a few minutes but can bring an incredible amount of relief. I call it a financial brain sweep. Grab a notebook and simply write down everything that's competing for your money right now. Get it all out of your head and onto paper. Start with your essentials. Things like your mortgage or rent, then utilities, your groceries, transportation, your gas money, insurance, and any medical expenses. Then write down the things you'd like to do or buy, like a vacation, home projects, new furniture, a different car, family activities, or even saving for the holidays. And finally, list all of the upcoming expenses you know are coming, such as back to school shopping, birthdays, sports registrations, car maintenance, Christmas, and anything else that's around the corner. This is why it's important. Most financial stress isn't actually caused by a lack of money. It's mostly caused by having too many financial priorities swirling around in your mind at the same time. Your brain is trying to remember every bill, every upcoming expense, and every financial goal all at once. No wonder you feel overwhelmed, right? And when you do a financial brain sweep, you're giving your mind permission to let go of carrying it all. And suddenly you can see everything in one place. Your finances become clearer, your priorities become easier to identify, and instead of reacting to money, you can begin leading it with purpose. That simple exercise alone can reduce a surprising amount of financial anxiety before you've spent or saved a single dollar. Now, step number 2. Now that you've completed your financial brain sweep, take another look at your list. Instead of seeing one long list of expenses, start grouping similar items together. This makes it much easier to see where your money needs to go. For example, you might have a category for family essentials, which includes your mortgage or rent, groceries, utilities, and transportation. Then create a protection category with things like your emergency fund, insurance, and other expenses that help protect your family's financial stability. Next, have a school and kids category. This is where you'll put school supplies, backpacks, clothing, activity fees, sports registrations, and anything related to your children. And finally, create a future goals category for things like paying off debt, saving for a vacation, home improvements, or other dreams you're working toward. Here's why this step is so important. When everything feels important, nothing gets funded properly. If every expense is competing for your attention at the same time, it's hard to know where to start. But when you group your priorities, your finances begin to make sense. You can clearly see what needs your attention first, what can wait, and where your money will have the biggest impact. This is where financial clarity begins. And you're no longer looking at a pile of expenses. You're creating a simple plan that helps you make confident decisions instead of stressful ones. Now let's look at the step 3. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see families make. They try to work on everything all at once. They're paying off debt, saving for Christmas, planning a vacation, building an emergency fund, replacing the car, remodeling the bathroom, saving for college, and trying to keep up with everyday bills at the same time. And then they wonder why it feels like they're working so hard but never making real progress. And here's the truth. Your money can only do so much at one time, right? That's why I encourage my clients to focus on just 2 or 3 active financial priorities at a time. For many families, priority number 1 is covering essential living expenses. And then priority number 2 might be building or rebuilding an emergency fund. And if it's back to school season, your priority number 3 could be setting aside money for school supplies, clothing, and other school expenses. Everything else isn't forgotten. It simply waits its turn. Think about it this way. If you try to water every plant in your yard with just one small watering can, none of them get enough. But when you focus on the plants that need water most, they begin to grow and bloom. The same is true with your finances. When you focus on just a few priorities, your money has a purpose. You start seeing progress. You build momentum. And when that momentum comes, something every working mom wants, less financial stress and more confidence that you're moving in the right direction. And friend, I want you to remember, financial planning isn't about doing everything at once. It's about knowing what matters most right now and then leading your money there first. Now to step number 4. Friend, before you buy the first notebook, backpack, or pair of shoes, I want you to make sure your financial foundation is solid. And that starts with covering your family's essential living expenses first. Make sure your mortgage or rent is covered, your utilities, your groceries, your transportation. Those are the expenses that keep your household running every single day. And once those essentials are taken care of, I want you to think about something else that's just as important. It's your emergency fund. I hear moms say this all the time. I'll start saving once everything else is paid for. But life doesn't usually wait until it's convenient, right? The car needs repairs, someone gets sick, the washing machine quits working. Those unexpected expenses always seem to show up at the worst possible time. That's why I encourage every family to build an emergency fund, even if it's small. Maybe you save $10 a week. Maybe it's $20. Maybe it's $25 from every paycheck. The amount isn't nearly as important as creating the habit, all right? Every single deposit is another step toward feeling more secure, and over time, that security turns into confidence because you know you're preparing instead of reacting, right? And financial peace starts when you know your family's basic needs are covered and having a little cushion for life's surprises. Next, step number 5. Now that you've taken care of your foundation, let's create a simple back-to-school budget. Start by writing down everything your family actually needs. Think through school supplies like notebooks, pencils, folders, calculators, and anything your child's teacher requires. Next, list clothing. Maybe it's shoes, uniforms, jackets, or a few outfits if they've outgrown last year's clothes. Don't forget activity fees, sports, band, clubs, or anything else your child plans to participate in. Then think about lunches. Maybe you need a new lunchbox, food containers, water bottles, or it's simply time to restock the pantry with easy school lunches and snacks. Estimate what each category will cost. It doesn't have to be perfect. The goal isn't perfection. Our goal is eliminating surprises. Because when you know what's coming, then you have time to prepare instead of feeling blindsided at the checkout register. This step is where so many families can save surprising amount of money. As you're shopping, ask one simple question. Does my child truly need this? Or would they simply like it? For example, they may need a new pair of shoes because they've outgrown the old ones. But do they need the $120 trendy version? Maybe they need a backpack, but do they really need to replace one that's still in great condition? That one question helps you spend intentionally instead of emotionally. And I want you to remember, saying not this year to one purchase doesn't mean saying never. It simply means you're choosing what matters most right now. All right, step number 7. It's time to head to the store. But this time, you're going in with a plan. Before you buy anything, check what you already have at home. You might already have pencils, notebooks, scissors, rulers, or even last year's backpack that's still in great shape. Bring your school supply list with you. And also, I want you to watch for sales. Compare prices if you're shopping at more than one store. And most importantly, decide how much you're willing to spend before you walk through the doors. Here's a fun way to remember it. A shopping cart without a plan is a lot like grocery shopping when you're hungry. Everything suddenly looks like a good idea. But when you have a plan, you're in control. Not the sales, not the displays, and not impulse buying. All right, now we are ready for step 8. As we wrap up today's episode, I hope you see that this really wasn't just about school shopping. It's about having a simple financial plan that helps you make decisions with confidence all year long. And when your finances are organized, school shopping feels much more calmer. And the decisions become easier. The guilt starts to disappear, and so does so much of the financial stress. Why? Because you already know where the money is coming from. You're not hoping everything works out. You've already given your money a purpose before you started spending it. That's what financial planning is all about. It's not about restricting your life. It's about leading your money with intention, so it supports the life you're working so hard to build for your family. And that kind of clarity doesn't just make back-to-school shopping easier. It creates more peace, more confidence, and more financial stability all year long. Now, everything we talked about today is exactly why I teach this simple money method in my 2-line budget. Not because budgeting is exciting, but because simplicity creates clarity and clarity creates confidence. Friend, I don't believe you need dozens of budgeting categories, complicated spreadsheets, multiple bank accounts, or a financial system that takes hours every week to maintain. Because you're a busy working mom. You need a plan that fits your real life. The one that's simple enough to stick with, flexible enough for life surprises, and clear enough to help you make confident financial decisions. That's exactly what the simple money method was designed to do. And instead of feeling like your budget is controlling you, you'll learn how to lead your money with purpose so it supports the life you want to build for your family. Before we wrap up, let's quickly review the steps we covered today. First, do a financial brain sweep and get everything out of your head and onto paper. Second, group your financial priorities so you can clearly see where your money needs to go. Third, focus on just 2 or 3 priorities at a time instead of trying to fund everything at once. Fourth, build a strong financial foundation by covering your essential living expenses and continuing to grow your emergency fund. Fifth, create a simple back-to-school budget so there are fewer surprises. Then the sixth step, separate needs from wants to make intentional spending decisions. Then step number 7, shop with a plan and stay focused on what matters most. And finally, remember that simple financial planning isn't about restricting your spending. It's about reducing stress, building confidence, and creating financial peace. And if you are feeling overwhelmed by back-to-school expenses, debt, rising grocery costs, savings goals, or you're simply tired of wondering where your money keeps going, I would love to help. During a financial stability coaching session, we'll organize your finances, identify your biggest priorities, and create a simple financial roadmap that works for your family's unique situation. Friend, you don't have to figure it all out on your own. To learn more or schedule your one-on-one coaching session with me, visit dianagalas.com/coaching. It's dianagalas.com/coaching. And as we finish today's episode, I want you to picture something. Imagine walking into this back-to-school season when you know your essential bills are covered. Your emergency fund is slowly but growing. Your school shopping budget is already planned. And instead of worrying about every purchase, you know exactly where your money is coming from and where it's going. Friend, that's what financial planning is really about. It's not about having a perfect budget. It's not about never making mistakes. And it's definitely not about restricting yourself. It's more about creating enough clarity that you can make financial decisions with confidence. It's about replacing anxiety with peace. And that is exactly what I want for you. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. If this episode encouraged you, I would love for you to leave a written review and follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. And until next time, remember, every small step you take today is helping you build a stronger, more peaceful financial future for yourself and your family. Have a great day Enjoy the moment, and I meet you right here in a few days.
I am glad you joined me today. If this episode lifted some weight off your shoulders, pass that lightness on to another woman who could use it too. Make sure to follow the Financial Planning Podcast so each week you can unwrap simple money strategies helping you design and build financial stability at your home and experience the clarity, peace, and direction your life is craving. You're doing better than you think, truly. Keep going and keep leading your money, not chasing it. Right here, your clarity grows, your confidence builds, and your new financial story begins. 1 week, 1 step, 1 win at a time.